Hello, Adri.
Hi, teacher.
How are you?
I'm fine, teacher.
Okay, awesome. So today we're going to talk a little bit deeper into argumentative essays, okay? And I have this example with some useful information so that we can have a better knowledge on how to structure it, okay? So let's see. Exploring the typical features and structure of an argumentative essay with a simple example. Let's go over it. Key guide. Bold facing of text is used to highlight the words which indicate the topic of a sentence. Okay, in this case, we have here some bold. But this is in the explanation, not inside the uh, inside the text. But however, we have some bold also as well. And this is used mainly to show the importance and to direct the information into the thesis statement. Underline is used to highlight words whose function is to indicate the logical connection between ideas to the reader. Italics son las letras que están así como que dobladitas. Is used for emphasis and would be used even in an annotated text. So let's see. At this point, for example, we are indicated we're being indicated here in the text context or background, which provides the motivation for discussing the issue or question addressed by the essay. Okay, and since this is the first paragraph, we know that the thesis statement goes there, and we have the thesis statement. The overall claim that will be defended with evidence and reasoning in the body of the essay. A good thesis implies a structure. In this case, that there will be explanations of the ways that different types of diversity can negatively impact team performance, followed by an explanation of the strategies teams and their managers can use to reduce these negatives and enhance positives. In few words, it's just telling us the constant pros. Okay. But before we move on to the next paragraph, let's read about this essay. So diversity, help or hydrants to help to group performance. Okay, so this is a question. Help or hydrants to group performance. So in your opinion, what's hydrants? What do you think is hydrants? Because it says here, help or hydrants. So hydrants should be the opposite of help, right?
Opposite, yes.
Let's read in this text. Let's see the example, okay? Can you help me read?
In an increasingly complex and competitive business world, how is a company to generate the creative ideas needed for ongoing success? Many managers believe that forming teams with cross-functional diversity is the answer. Seri et al. 2082, and this is becoming increasingly common. Mu and Naiweli.
That's the citations, right? Those are the citations.
However, while diversity in group membership may lead the diversity of ideas needed for innovative problem solving, it is argued here that managers need to be aware that there are many ways that diversity can in fact hinder team performance. Thus, there are strategies that both teams and their managers can use to reduce the potential negatives and enhance the potential positives.
Okay, so in this case, your thesis statement tells you the overall claim, okay? So while diversity in group membership may lead to the diversity of ideas needed for innovative problem solving, it is argued that managers need to be aware that there are many ways that diversity can in fact hinder team performance, and so on and so on. There's more. This is a big thesis statement, right? But it is giving you an explanation. Remember, a strong thesis statement, especially in an argumentative essay, has to take one side right off the bat. You have to tell, I'm pro this, I'm pro that. It's the beginning of the essay, so you have to be very clear about this. Now we're getting into more things. We have the analysis, we have the topic sentence, we have some evidence and reasoning. And remember, this is already part of the body. Let's read about the next paragraph.
Aside from the cross-functional diversity, many other types of diversity can have effects on performance, team performance, and some of these types of diversity can have inherently negative effects. For example, any negative stereotyping by group members resulting from diversity in terms of gender, age, or ethnicity will reduce team social cohesion and hence group performance because a certain amount of social cohesion has been found to be correlated with effective group performance. Other aspects of diversity, such as in attitudes towards the group task, in values, and in time management styles, can also negatively affect group social cohesion and group performance.
Okay, yes. And also you can see from here, you have some highlighted words. And all of these are your what? Your transitions, right?
Transition words.
Yes, you have transitions within your paragraph. You also have some transitions in the beginning, aside from, okay. And you have also hence. And it's here. It's telling you, underline is used to highlight words whose function is to indicate the logical connection between ideas to the reader. Yes. Okay. And of course, we have an analysis. We discussed that yesterday, right? We were prompted to come up with an analysis. Topic sentences is something that we discussed briefly in the British Council. And this is something that does not have to be confused with paragraphs. It's just a topic sentence, just a sentence, not a paragraph. And then evidence and reason. Okay. Now, on the next paragraph, we have another topic sentence. Okay.
Is the other topic?
Yes. Another, again, in the form of a subclaim. In this one, paragraphs start with a topic sentence which indicates the topic of the paragraph. In this case, the topic is announced as a claim. Okay. And this is a subclaim. But let's read about it so we can know a little bit more about it. Can you help me read?
The sorts of diversity that are most likely to be beneficial to group performance, such as diversity in relevant knowledge, experience, and skills, can unfortunately also cause problems for group performance. Having too many diverse views and opinions to coordinate can, for example, cause cognitive overload amongst group members and so impede its decision-making process. This is especially likely to be a problem when the team has a limited amount of time to complete the task. The cross-functional diversity mentioned above can also cause problems if group members have difficulty understanding and coordinating the different worldviews and values of group members from different functional areas. Teacher?
Oh, I was speaking in mute. So again, here in this paragraph, now, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Here we have bold words. Let's go back a little bit about bold words. Bold facing of text is used to highlight the words which indicate the topic of a sentence. Okay. The sorts of diversity that are most likely to be beneficial, okay, can unfortunately also cause problems for group performance. And then we have some italics. Too many.
Mhm.
What do we say about italics? Is used for emphasis and would be used even in unannotated text. Unannotated means that you're not making a quote. You're not using a direct quote. It's just something used to show emphasis.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's see. Note the use of concrete examples, such as to help the reader understand what the writer means by the sorts of diversity that are most likely to be beneficial to group performance. Okay. And here we have an explanation and part of the argument. Note again how the writer has not simply said, for example, that having too many ideas can be a problem, but has also explained why having too many ideas can be a problem. This is necessary for the reader to understand the argument being made.
Mm.
Let's go to the next paragraph, please.
Given all the above mentioned problems associated with diversity, there are strategies that team and its managers can implement to reduce the potential negatives and enhance the potential positives. Regarding cognitive overload, evidently a team needs to be given an adequate amount of time to complete its task. Scheduling frequent collaboration can also be used to build social cohesion and overcome the potential negative impact of stereotypes. Team psychological safety is first in the group, and since too much social cohesion can cause teams to avoid the robust robust debate needed to generate the best thinking in order to protect social relationships, management, encouragement of the group to be venturesome in its work can also be helpful.
We are quoting, we are using quotation marks, venturesome, okay? Aventurado. So here we have again some bold words. Are the strategies that the team and its managers can implement to reduce the potential negatives and enhance the potential positives? It's a question. So you're questioning your argument, okay? And it's telling you here why. In this paragraph, the topic of the paragraph words in boldface is announced with a question rather than a claim. This illustrating that there is more than one way of introducing a paragraph. Yes, I'm not only gonna say facts, but I'm gonna say, okay, you have a question, I have a question too, but I can answer that question. And I know what question you are thinking about. I'm gonna put it. So this is a smart thinking. And here, a longer essay would explore these ideas in more depth. For example, how can an adequate amount of time be determined? What training do team leaders and or team members need to be able to facilitate team psychological safety? So this is just wrapping up your ideas in the last paragraph, okay? Let's go into the conclusion.
In conclusion, it appears that if managers wish to create especially effective teams, they should seek to minimize diversity in terms of task and type management values while looking to maximize difference in relevant knowledge and skills. They should further to foster as much collaborations as possible so as to develop team social cohesion.
Cohesion.
Have cohesion. Have rules about interactions which foster team psychological safety and encourage the team to be venturesome. Unless these things are done, managers will likely find diversity more an hindrance than a help for group performance.
Okay. So again, we have some insights in conclusion, signals the topic of the paragraph. And again, we have some quotations. And don't forget about the references. It's telling us here how
References,
to
right?
list, yes, your references, where you got your quotes from. Okay. So this one is actually very short. It's not even that big. It sounds a little bit confusing, but it's not. It's just that they're using big words. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'll give you this work. I'll send it and I'll put it in the group just in a little while so that you can have it as a reference. Okay. And that'll be all for my behalf today, Audrey. If you can help me with the survey.
Ya está, teacher.
Okay.
Teacher, vamos a hacer un ensayo, este tipo de ensayo argumentativo para la tarea.
Yes.
Y es para el lunes, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Y el tópico es cualquier cosa, o sea, es cualquier cosa que veamos.
Estaba debatiendo sobre eso, pero creo que va por ahí.
Como debatiendo.
Bueno, internamente conmigo mismo, ¿qué es mejor para ustedes? Creo que les voy a dar mi decisión el día de hoy más tarde.
Ya.
¿Ok?
Ya siempre me confundo con eso. Es que me dice
okay.
que es como que es libre, pero después manda como artículos, entonces no sé si es libre o sobre los artículos.
No, los artículos, recuerda, son referencias para que puedas practicar.
Ya.
No son para que uses ese como referencia. El primero sí, les dije, vamos a usar el de Bob Marley como, pero de ahí en fuera ha sido, ahora sí que abierto, ¿no?
¿Y si hubiese hecho del artículo, está mal?
No, no pasa nada.
Ya.
Pues fue su decisión. Okay.
Ya.
Okay. Thank you, Audrey.
Bye bye, teacher.
Okay, bye-bye.
See you.
Bye. Hey, Joanna, what's up?
Hello, teacher. Good evening.
Good evening. Okay, so we have an example of an argumentative essay, and we have some explanations, okay? Now, we have a key guide. Bold facing of text is used. Sorry. No. Bold facing of text is used to highlight the words which indicate the topic of a sentence. Underline is used to highlight words whose function is to indicate the logical connection between ideas to the reader. Italics is used to emphasize and would be used even in an unannotated text. Cuando decimos unannotated text significa que no son cosas obtenidas de un texto o quoted. No son quoted text, okay? That's what it is, unannotated. Let's read about the text a little bit. Can you help me read? Let's read the first paragraph.
Diversity help or hindrance to group performance in a increasingly complex and competitive business world. How is a company to generate the creative ideas needed for ongoing success? Many managers believe that forming teams with cross function diversity in the answer. City at 2002, and this is becoming increasingly common. New. Okay.
This is the citation, Joe. You don't need to read it, but like this one, this part, and this is the citation, okay? Just be careful to be able to identify. Have another one, because it's in parentheses.
Okay. However, while diversity in group membership many lead to the diversity of ideas needed for innovative problem solving, it is argued here that managers need to be uh, uh, mm, aware that there are many ways that diversity can in fact hinder team performance. So there are strategies that both teams and their managers can use to reduce the potential negative and enhance the potential positives.
Okay. Yes. Now, check it out. Here, we are given an explanation about the first part of the paragraph. Context or background, which provides the motivation for discussing the issue or question and addressed by the essay. Okay, or question addressed by the essay. So this is the beginning, and it's giving you the motivation for your argument. Again, we talk about the thesis statement, which is the overall claim that will be defended with evidence and reasoning in the body of the essay. Okay, and it gives you an explanation. A good thesis implies a structure, so on and so on. I'm not gonna read this. This is for you. But again, we have talked about this. Now we get into the body of the essay. Here, remember yesterday we discussed some analysis? You did your own analysis. I gave you the sample analysis from one essay, and then for the second essay, you gave an analysis. Okay, this analysis is important for top marks. In this case, analysis means breaking down the broad concept of diversity to consider the possibility of ways that different types of diversity might affect the group performance. Okay, so this is a big explanation. But again, the main objective is to be informative about top marks. We have again a topic sentence. We have some evidence and reasoning. But let's read the second paragraph. Can you help me?
Aside from the cross-functional diversity, many other types of diversity can have effect on team performance and Some of these types of diversity can have in, inherently negative effect. For example, any negative stereotypes by group members resulting from diversity in terms of gender, age, or ethnicity will reduce team social connection and hence group performance. Mm, mm,
Group performance, okay? Hence, group performance. Now, in this paragraph also, we have bold. Bold significa negritas, and underline means subrayado. And we talk about this in the beginning. Let's go. Bold facing, which are these ones, is used to highlight the words which indicate the topic sentence. Okay, so remember, we have topic sentence, and this is the beginning. Many other types of diversity. Some of the types of diversity can have inherently negative effects. Okay, remember, indicate the topic sentence. Now, we have underline. Underlining is used to highlight words whose function is to indicate the logical connection between ideas to the reader. Okay, and these words look like transitions. For example, because, also, hence, transitions, remember?
just
There are transitions in few words, okay? And these tools are used to show the evidence and the reasoning. I'm not gonna read this. Let's go to the next paragraph, please.
teacher, why they add ay no me acuerdo negrita, no me acuerdo.
Ah, indicate the topic of a sentence. Okay. Aquí tienes tu análisis en el principio del párrafo, ¿verdad? Sí. Aquí está. Aquí te está diciendo, en el primer párrafo. Y entonces lo único que te va a decir, te va a indicar cuál es el
Okay.
objetivo inicial. Solamente. Y te dice, many other types of diversity. Some of these types of diversity can have inherent negative effects. Y lo mismo
No.
ocurre aquí. Y lo mismo ocurre aquí. Si te das cuenta, está en el principio.
Ya.
Recuerda que tu análisis empieza al principio. Después de ahí tienes topic sentences. Y las negritas solamente te ayudan a resaltar tu topic sentences.
No, okay, teacher.
¿Sale? Let's go to the next paragraph, please.
Okay. The soft or diversity that are most likely to be beneficial to group performance, such as diversity in relevant knowledge, experience, and skills, can unfortunately also cause problems for group performance. Having too many diverse views and opinions to coordinate can, for example, cause cognitive overload uh, amongst group members, and so independent its decision-making process. This is especially likely to be a problem when the team has a amount of time to complete its task. The cross-functional diversity mentioned avoid to can also cause problems if group members have difficult understanding and coordinating the differing world views and values of group members from different function or
Areas.
areas.
Okay.
Uh,
And we're going to stop here. And this is the citation. Si te fijas, esta también es una citation. Todo esto. Y vamos aquí arriba, tenemos otro topic sentence. Okay. Again, the form of a subclaim. Usualmente, siempre empezamos con lo más fuerte al principio. Y de ahí estamos usando los demás, las demás ideas como referencia para give it more value to the first topic, okay? To your first idea and the first paragraph. And then, well, we don't have time to go all over these, but then we have the conclusion. Again, it's in bold, and we have the references. For this essay, we only use 3 references. And that'll be all for my behalf, Joe. I'll give you this information so you can keep it, and I'll give you the date for the next essay to be.
Teacher, one question. The reference always go into the below the paragraph. Siempre va a ir debajo de un parágrafo.
The references? Yes.
Referencias.
They can go after the text, after the essay, or in a different page. In my case, I always post my references in a different page. But that's my case. In these examples, they just put them right after the essay is complete.
Okay.
Okay, Joe. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you, teacher.
Good night. Hey, hello, Camila. How are you?
Hello, teacher. Good evening.
Good evening. So, as I was explaining, students, we have here an example of an argumentative essay. And what I like about this PDF file is that it gives me a breakdown of each of the sections from each paragraph of the essay. And also is giving us key information. In this case, we have a key guide. Can you help me read these 3 points, please?
Bold facing of text is used to highlight the words which indicate the topic of a sentence.
Okay.
Underlining.
Just a second. So we have here the bold facing to indicate the topic of a sentence. And then we have here the bold. Okay, this is the first paragraph. This is the second paragraph. Okay. And if you pay close attention, this is in the beginning of each paragraph, where we start explaining and giving an analysis of the next idea or each idea. Okay, sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to show you examples. Let's go to the underlining, please.
Underlining is used to highlight words whose function is to indicate the logical connection between ideas to the reader.
Okay, so if we go here to the underlining, we have, for example, because, hence, also, such as, cause. What are these words? You're familiar with these words. How do we call them?
Transitional words.
Yes. So, okay, only we here in this text, we can see that they are underlining these words. Let's go to the next one, italics.
Italics is used to emphasize and would be used even in an annotated text.
Unannotated text.
Unannotated text.
What is your understanding of an unannotated text?
I don't know, teacher. I don't know what is unannotated.
It's not quoted. It's not a quote.
Okay.
That's what it is. This is actually the official way of expressing a quote or something that is not quoted. But It's too complex, right? Too long, the whole word. Anyways, so before we explain a little bit about the information we have on the sites, let's read let's start reading the paragraph, okay? The beginning of the essay. Can you help me? Diversity.
Diversity help or hindrance to group performance is an increasingly complex and competitive business world. How is a company to generate the creative ideas needed for ongoing success? Many managers believe that forming teams with a cross-functional diversity is the answer, and this is becoming increasingly common. However, while diversity in group membership may lead to the diversity of ideas needed for innovative problem solving, it is argued here that managers need to be aware that there are many ways that diversity can in fact hinder team performance. Hinder team performance. Through there are strategies that both teams and their managers can use to reduce the potential negatives and enhance the potential positives.
Okay, thank you. So again, before we continue, what is your understandings of hindrance? What is your understanding of hindrance?
It's like an obstacle, I think.
Yes, the opposite of help.
Problem. Yeah.
An obstacle is a good example. Okay, good. So we started the essay with a question, which is very awesome because remember, in argumentative essay, you have to choose a side, but also it's good to question your ideas. In the beginning, it's telling us that we start motivating the audience, okay? Context or background, which provides the motivation for discussing the issue or question addressed by the essay, okay? And it's giving us a little bit of information about the thesis statement. We know about the thesis statement. This one in particular is a little bit long. I'm not gonna go over the explanations of what they're trying to tell us in this case, but yes, just to make sure that yes, every essay needs to have a thesis statement. In this case, a very strong thesis statement. If we go to the body, we start with the first paragraph. And as I was explaining, Joe, we have some bold words. What did we say about the bold words? Do you remember?
Sorry, that they show about the topic.
They reinforced the topic of the sentence, or they guide you towards the topic of the sentence. Okay? And this is an analysis in the beginning. Remember yesterday we discussed analysis for the overall essay. In this case, we have an analysis of the first essay, especially from the first topic sentence. Okay, and it says here, paragraph starts with the topic sentence, which introduces the topic of the paragraph. Okay, and we use the bold to show you this is what it is. This is the topic sentence, just to indicate you. So visually, you can just go there. Can we read about this?
Yep. Aside from the cross-functional diversity, many other types of diversity can have effects on team performance, and some of these types of diversity can have inherently negative effects. For example, any negative stereotyping by group members resulting from diversity in terms of gender, age, or ethnicity will reduce team social cohesion and hence group performance. As cited in Harrison, because a certain amount of social cohesion has been found to be correlated with effective group performance, other aspects of diversity, such as in attitudes towards the group's tasks, in values, and in time management styles can also negatively affect group social cohesion and hence group performance.
Okay. Not only, but also we are given evidence and some reasoning to support our argument. Okay. And pretty much what we have talked about in the past, we use transitions to connect the ideas. Okay. And also, these ideas are connected using quotations or quotes. In this case, you don't use quotations because the rule about using quotation marks is that if your text is too long, you don't need to use quotation marks. You just use your parentheses and cite your reference. But if you're quoting a small part, then you use the quotation marks. Let's go to the next paragraph, please.
The sorts of diversity that are most likely to be beneficial to group performance, such as diversity in relevant knowledge, experience, and skills, can unfortunately also cause problems for group performance. Having too many diverse views and opinions to coordinate can, for example, cause cognitive overload amongst group members and so impede its decision-making processes. This is especially likely to be a problem when the team has a limited amount of time to complete its tasks. The cross-functional diversity mentioned above can also cause problems if group members have difficulty understanding and coordinating the differing world views and values of group members from different functional areas.
Okay, so now we're starting to see many italics, many words in italics. So let's go back into our guide. Italics are used for emphasis and would be used even in an annotated text. So it doesn't mean that is something that I got from a text. It just means that I want to create emphasis. Let's go back. Again, we have some underlining and we have some bold. Again, we are being indicated about a topic sentence. In this case, a form of a subclaim. Any questions up to here?
No, teacher,
I
actually
think this is a
everything's
very
clear.
easy, it's a very easy essay.
Yeah, actually it is, I think.
Well, when you're given the instructions and you know how to organize your ideas, it's a beauty. And here what I like that is telling us. Everything that we have discussed is here and is well indicated. That's the beauty about it. And I'm gonna speed up a little bit because I wanna get into the conclusion. Can we go to the next paragraph, please?
Of course, given all the above mentioned problems associated with the diversity, are there strategies that a team and its managers can implement to reduce the potential negatives and enhance the potential positives? Regarding cognitive overload, evidently a team needs to be given an adequate amount of time to complete its tasks. Scheduling frequent collaboration can also be used to build social cohesion and overcome the potential negative impacts of stereotypes. And since too much social cohesion can cause teams to avoid too robust debate needed to generate the best thinking in order to protect social relationships, management encouragement of the group to be venturesome in its work can also be helpful.
Okay, so let's go from the top. Again, we have some bold ideas or words, and this is just to indicate the topic sentences. Now, in this paragraph, the topic of the paragraph is announced with the question than just a claim. Again, when we use a question mark to question our arguments is even better because we are telling the reader that we know what they're thinking. And I'm going to give you the answer for what you are questioning. And here in this example, they very intelligently mention this strategy at the very end. That's a smart thinking, actually, because you're not only just posting claims, you're also giving answering a question at the very end, just to close your essay. At the end, we have more ideas and more evidence. That's pretty much what they're telling us. And we're using some transitions, not everything. But again, most of the information is being quoted because we have some references here. Okay. And let's go into the conclusion, please.
In conclusion, it appears that if managers wish to create especially effective teams, they should seek to minimize diversity in terms of task and time management values while looking to maximize difference in relevant knowledge and skills. They should further aim to foster as much collaboration as possible so as to develop team social cohesion, have rules about interaction which foster team psychological safety and encourage the team to be venturesome. Unless these things are done, managers will likely find diversity more a hindrance than a help for group performance.
Okay, so at the end, we are giving a summary of the ideas that we mentioned and also closing my thesis statement. We are using some italics to emphasize some of the main ideas. And that's pretty much it. Also, we have the references. And in this case, the references, like I was saying, Joe, in my case, I always like to post my references, have them listed in a different page. It's up to you. I'm not that strict when it comes to that. But that'll be all for my behalf, Camila, for today. I'll give you this information so you can have it, and I will also give you the instructions for the next essay.
Good, thank you, teacher.
Have a good night. Don't forget the survey.
Yeah, I already did it.
Okay,
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Hey, Rodrigo, what's up? Sorry for the delay, sir.
Hi, teacher. Good evening. No problem.
Good evening. Okay, so we have here a beautiful text. Not only the essay, but also a well-structured form of viewing how an argumentative essay is broken down, exploring the typical features and structure of an argumentative essay with a simple example. So this is a simple example. Before we start, we have a key guide, okay? But before we go into the key guide, let's start reading the essay, okay? Let's start when we finish reading, then let's talk about the key guide. Can you help me with the reading, please?
Okay. Use the paragraph, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. Diversity. Help or hindrance to grow performance. In an increasingly complex and competitive business world, how is a company to generate the creative ideas needed for ongoing success? Many managers believe that forming teams with cross-functional diversity is the answer. Shady et al. 2002. And this is becoming increasingly common. MU and Jinjawali 2003. However, while diversity in group membership may lead to the diversity of ideas needed for innovative problem solving, it is argued here that managers need to be aware that their there are many ways that diversity can in fact hinder team performance. So there are strategies that both teams and their managers can use to reduce the potential negatives and enhance the potential positives.
Okay. So here I am indicating and highlighted the references. So we have some citations. Now, these citations that we are used to do are with quotes. Remember, when we quote, we only use quotation marks. But we use quotation marks when the quote is short. When we are using a big part, a chunk of another work, then we just use the citation like it is here. Okay. If it was something smaller, okay, well, I just use quotation marks. That's it. Okay. In this case, I'm using all of this information from another work. Just as an example. And also, we have here a note, context or background, which provides the motivation for discussing the issue or question addressed by the essay. So in this part, we introduce our argument and we reinforce it with our thesis statement. Okay. Remember, a good thesis implies a structure. I'm not gonna read this. This is for you because this section talks about this description in particular. Okay. But don't forget that not only having a thesis statement, you need to have an initial statement that motivates the audience. Okay. And before we continue a little bit deeper, what is hindrance in your point of view or your knowledge? What's hindrance?
Like difficulties.
Yes, the opposite of help, like roadblocks, right? Roadblocks, okay. And let's continue. Let's keep the key guide right now. We're not going to talk about it, but in the next paragraph, we will discuss it. So can you help me now? We got deep into the body. So help me read, please.
Okay. Aside from the cross-functional diversity, many other types of diversity can have effects on team performance, and some of these types of diversity can have inherently negative effects. For example, any negative stereotyping by group members resulting from diversity in terms of gender, age, or ethnicity will reduce team social cohesion and hence group performance. Fisk and Neuberger, 1990, as cited in Harrison, as cited in Harrison et al. 2002.
Yes,
Because,
but this is a citation, okay? So you don't need to read it.
Okay. Because a certain amount of social cohesion has been found to be correlative with effective group performance. Other aspects of diversity, such as in attitudes towards the group's tasks, in values, and in time management styles, can also negatively affect group social cohesion and hence group performance.
Okay, awesome. So now in this paragraph, we see bold letters or bold words. We have highlighted words. Okay, we don't have any italics here. We'll get into that in the next paragraph. But let's go by parts. Bold letters. Bold facing of text is used to highlight the words which indicate the topic of a sentence. Remember, we talk about topic sentences. We're not going to highlight everything, but all of this is the topic sentence. We are only going to use bold words to indicate what? What do you think? It doesn't say here, but just the main idea of the topic sentence, right? Just keywords. That's what it's telling you. Not right. Okay. You're just going to bold your key or main ideas from the topic sentence. Okay. And again, this topic sentence is your analysis. Okay. But this is an introduction of your body. You're saying a lot of important information at the beginning of the paragraph. Remember, we talked about analysis yesterday, but we did analysis of a whole essay. In this case, we're doing sub-analysis for each paragraph so that we can have a better structured paper. Okay. Now, we have some words underlined. For example, because, also, hence. How do we call these words? Do you remember? For example, because, also. Do you remember how do we call them?
Excuse, with semicolon?
No. These words underline. How do we call those words? Remember?
Oh, they are conjunctions.
Transitions.
Oh, okay. Transition words.
Transitional words, yes. And let's go here. Underlining is used to highlight words whose function is to indicate the logical connection between ideas. Words that we use to indicate logical connection between ideas are called transitional words. And these transitional words are used to show the evidence and the reasoning. Okay. And this is just the first body paragraph. This was the introduction. This is the body paragraph. First one.
Okay, I have a question. In our argumentative essay, we need to underline and bold these words?
Yes, I'll give you that indication when I send instructions tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and that's why I'm giving you this reference, because it pretty much gives you a guidance, right? And we have another topic sentence right here, and we are using bold words to indicate this topic sentence. Okay, we're also giving explanations, and we are using italics as well. Okay, we have italics. Italics significa que están curvaditas. And what we mean by italics, they're used for emphasis and would be even used in unannotated text. What is your understanding of unannotated text? ¿Qué es lo que entiendes de esto? Unannotated text. Not quoted. Okay, not cited. Okay.
Okay.
En algunos trabajos, like articles, titles, newspapers, they use italics. And sometimes they use italics for titles or to quote something. But that's a different type of paper, per se. because there's different types of forms of writing and citing. That's why they're mentioning. But the educated way to make a reference of quotes or cite or works cited is using italics. In this case, it does not apply. We are only giving emphasis to the words using italics. Okay. And also before we leave, at the very end, we have the references. Okay.
Okay.
And that's it. In this case, we only have 3.
Yeah, the references is with up and north, or there are other north.
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
The references is right by APA, with APA, normal APA.
Well, you can use references from the web or books from the web, articles. It's up to you.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. And that'll be all for my behalf. I'll give you this information and instructions as well. Okay. Don't forget to complete your survey for tonight. And I'll see you tomorrow, sir.
Okay. See you, teacher. Bye.
Bye-bye. Good evening. Hey, Mauricio. Good evening. How are you?
Hi, teacher. Everything's okay, thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so I have a lot of notes here, red markings and so on and so on, but that's gonna help us a lot. Anyways, so I have this document which is going to help us have a better understanding of how to structure an argumentative essay. Okay, we have a key guide. We're not gonna talk about the key guide at this moment. What we're gonna do is start reading the essay. Okay, diversity, help or hindrance to group performance. So before we start, what's hindrance in your own opinion, or are you familiar with this word?
No, really no.
Is the opposite of help. I would say like a roadblock, an obstacle.
Okay.
Okay, help or hindrance to group performance, diversity. Okay, this is a very nice topic. Okay, so let's start reading. Let's start with the introduction. Can you help me read?
Okay. In an increasingly complex and competitive business world, how is a company to generate the creative ideas needed for ongoing success? Many managers believe that forming teams will cross-functional diversity in this answer. Shetty et.
Don't worry about that. Those are the cited
Oh, okay.
references. Okay, don't you don't have to read those. Okay.
And this is becoming increasingly common. However, while diversity in group membership may lead to the diversity of ideas needed for innovative problem solving, it is argued here that managers need to be aware that there are many ways that diversity can in fact hinder team performance. Through there are strategies that both teams and their managers can use to reduce the potential negatives and enhance the potential positives.
Okay, beautiful. Now, before we even talk about what's going on in the first paragraph, let's look at the structure. In the beginning, we are being told to use a very good initiation of the first sentence because we need to motivate the audience. Okay, so you need to get the attention of the reader right away. So the context and background which you're going to use in the first sentence is going to motivate, okay? And also is going to discuss the issue or question the issue. In this case, what are you doing? You're questioning the issue, right? Have a question. In an increasingly complex and competitive business world, y aquí empiezas con tu auxiliary. How is a company to generate the creative ideas needed for ongoing success? Okay. And then we get right into our thesis statements. I'm not going to explain the thesis statements because this explanation is basically aimed to talk about what's going on in our introduction, but I just want you to look at this in the structure. Okay? In the next paragraph, now we get into the body. Let's read about the body. Okay.
Okay. Aside from the cross-functional diversity, many other types of diversity can have effects on team performance, and some of these types of diversity can have inherently negative effects. For example, any negative stereotyping by group member resulting from diversity in terms of gender, age, or ethnicity will reduce team social cohesion and hence group performance. Because a certain amount of social cohesion has been found to be correlated with effective group performance. Other aspects of diversity, such as attitude towards the group tasks, in values and time management styles, can also negatively affect group social cohesion and hence group performance.
Okay, now remember yesterday we did an analysis of the whole essay. In this case, we're doing a sub-analysis in the beginning of each paragraph, especially from the body. Okay. Analysis is important for the top marks. In this case, analysis means breaking down. Okay, now I'm not gonna read anything more, but this analysis, what it is pretty much your topic sentence. Okay. Each paragraph starts with a topic sentence. And what is a topic sentence? It's an analysis. Okay. We're not talking about different things. No, we're talking about the same. It's a sentence that tells me an analysis. Now, we have here in bold words. What are the bold words? Let's go to the top. At the key guide. Bold facing of text is used to highlight the words which indicate the topic of a sentence. In few words, we're talking about keywords. Keywords of what? The topic sentence. Because if you just bold the whole topic sentence, pasa mucha información, ¿no? You just want to concentrate in the main words. Many other types of diversity, some of these types of diversity can have inherently negative effects. But teacher, how do I know what to bold, what to indicate? Hey, Mauricio, this is your paper. This is your argument. You need to persuade me. So it's up to you, in few words, okay?
Okay.
Now, here we have underlined words. For example, because, also, hence. How do we call these words?
Conjunctions.
Transitions words. Transitions, right? Let's go here to the key guide. Underlining o subrayando, o subrayar, is used to highlight words whose function is to indicate the logical connection between ideas. To the reader, yes, we use transitions to connect the ideas. What ideas? In this case, the evidence, the reasoning. Okay? We are in the body section, so we need to give examples. Let's go to the next paragraph. Can you help me read?
Okay. The sorts of diversity that are most likely to be beneficial to group performance, such as diversity in relevant knowledge, experience, and skills, can unfortunately also cause problems for group performance. Having too many diverse views and options to coordinate can, for example, cause cognitive overload amongst group members and so impede its decision-making progress. This is essentially likely to be a problem when the team has limited amount of time to complete its tasks. And the cross-functional diversity mentioned above can also cause problems if group members have difficulty understanding and coordinating the differing worldviews and values of group members from different functional areas.
Okay, so unfortunately, unfortunately. Okay, we have more words that are underlined. Some transitions. And also we are using bold words. We have another topic sentence. As a subclaim, hello?
Hello, teacher. Sorry.
It's okay.
My
So yes, again, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Okay, we have more underlined words, transitions such as cause. Okay, and we have another topic sentence, and we are indicating the topic sentence as a subclaim. Okay, we're giving explanation and an argument. Now we have some italic words. What are the italic? Let's go up here. Italics is used for emphasis and would be used even in an annotated text. Okay, unannotated means not quoted or not cited. Okay,
Okay.
that's what it means. That is what it means. So let's go back. Okay. Let's go to the third paragraph. Okay.
Okay. Given all the above mentioned problems associated with diversity, are there strategies that team and its managers can implement to reduce the potential negatives and enhance the potential positives? Regarding cognitive overload, evidence, evidently, a team needs to be given an adequate amount of time to complete its tasks, scheduling frequent collaboration can also be used to build social cohesion and overcome the potential negative impacts of stereotypes. Provided team psychological safety is fostered in group, and signs too much social cohesion can cause teams to avoid the robust debate needed to generate the best thinking in order to protect social relationships. Management encouragement of the group to be venturesome in its work can also be helpful.
Okay, I'm not gonna get into what the text is telling us, but as you read, you can identify that we are using another claim. We have another analysis, another topic sentence, and we are indicating the topic sentence in bold. Okay, so we have it here. But is in this case we have a question. Okay, and this is beautiful because if you question even your own argument, is better because you're telling the reader that you know there will be questions in your argument and you are aware and you're questioning those doubts before anybody does it. Okay. And then we have the conclusion.
Mhm. Do I read the conclusion, teacher?
No, we're going to stop here and we don't need to read the conclusion. Just remember that in your conclusion, you are again talking briefly about your thesis statement and how you use the evidence from the body paragraphs. But you're going to use that information in a summary just to make a
Oh,
nice, beautiful summary with all the main ideas that you mentioned in all of the topic sentences. Okay. Ahora,
okay.
you have here your references. In this case, we use 3 types of references. You're more than welcome to use more. It's up to you. But remember, if you use more than 3 references, that means that perhaps you will have to have more paragraphs. I say you stick to only 3 references. Good references, not just any references, okay?
Okay.
And that'll be all for my behalf for today. I will give you the instructions in a little bit and so that you can submit your next essay for next week.
Okay, teacher.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mauricio. Have a good night and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, teacher. Thank you. Bye bye.
Good night. Bye-bye.